This is really the first time you've done it as coordinator, right?
Yes, yes.
How have you liked that, and how do you foresee that going?
It's a team. We put it together as a staff, and what you're trying to do is find the rhythm, and then find the matchups, and hopefully we get them and to get some explosive. But other than that, it's just our execution, our system. Everything is, I feel pretty good with the operation.
I know some coaches pre-script plays going into games. Do you do that? Are you going to do that at all? Or
Oh yeah, we will.
like a certain number, like every game?
Yeah, we'll have a certain number just to see, if what we saw on film is the same, and if it's not, then you have the answers to counter anything that they have practiced on doing, because most teams are going to practice on what they're going to see, and they haven't seen anything from this offense yet. So it's going to be interesting.
You know how many? You have like a number of plays, or what?
Yeah, it can go from anywhere from 10 to 15, and depending on the defensive front, and see how many personnels, if they even change personnel. But that's all.
Who would you say were the biggest influences on your kind of offensive philosophy?
I think everyone that I've come in contact from player from I had Norv Turner as a player, Coach Robinson running the ball at every level, to one of the great coordinators here in Homer Smith, and going experience with we've had Terry Robisky, who's been in the NFL for a long time, and we had Mike Shula, who's a good friend, who's doing it in Carolina, and then Dirk Cutter, who's doing it at Tampa Bay, Norm Chow, Ted Toner. So a lot of systems in my mind, and a lot of what simple language to get your players to play. Let them play and have fun, and get some explosive plays out of it, and have fun with what we're calling.
So would you say your offense kind of blends a little bit, maybe, of some of those guys?
Yes, and even we've done some great things here in the past now. The last 3 years with Noah Mazzoni, those were really good things, and we're still doing a lot of the good things here. So, yes, it's a blend, and I think it's everyone. But then you got to look at your personnel, and we have a big physical offensive line, I believe, and a pretty special kid calling the plays. So,
what is his role in this offense as far as play calling? I mean, obviously he can
his
change
role,
stuff up.
yeah, he's a big role because he's a bright young man. He knows how to get us out of if he sees pressure, to put us in the proper play. We don't want to run a play that we can't block up. So he's pretty bright in understanding that, and also coach puts us in a lot of situations with down and distance, learning to hey, here's your outlet, but if you feel that you can't get it out, change the protection, change the run direction, just depending on what technique that our guys can't get the double team or get the angle. So, and he's vocalizing, he's using his command, and that's kind of, and he has more concept than he's had probably in a long time.
What has Faithful shown you the last few practices now that you guys have kind of gone into pads?
Mike is bright. He knows how to get rid of the ball. And again, the more we rep, the more repetition that we have in this system, I think the more comfortable they are, and we can call a concept and might have 3 personnels and 4 different formations, but we're painting a picture for them, and they're getting there.
How much has the Ish Adams package kind of expanded since you've seen now for a while what he can do on offense since the spring?
Do we have a package for him?
Just the touches that he gets on offense.
We're expanding it, and every time I want him to see it. So it's kind of a fun deal, and we're finding ways to get our playmakers the ball in their hand.
What kind of impact are you looking for Nate at tight end?
It's a very big part of our offense. We have a lot of our route combination, have to win at the point in the blocking, and then if we run away from him, he's got to be able to cut off And usually those guys are, pretty good defensive players, those DNs. That's who he goes against. And so if we can keep their linebackers on the field with him, we've got a pretty good athletic kid there.
He's played a lot of different positions before moving to tight end. Has he
Yeah.
picked it up pretty quickly?
Yeah, Coach Shear and that group have really picked it up. And it's a good package having tight end available because, you're going to see, in that scripting, you see if they're going to go with the nickel pack and say, hey, these tight ends really can't block, or they're going to go with their base pack and put four, if they're a 3-4, put 4 linebackers in there, or, a 4-3 where they have 3 linebackers and 4 D linemen. Now it's going to be interesting.
How much new stuff are you still teaching and implementing this week, or is it mostly going over stuff you've already taught?
We've pretty much have what we call our menus in, and now we're just kind of like most teams put a little window dressing to it. It might look different, but it's the same to our quarterback.
Josh said that in the offense it's complex because he can build different plays, kind of almost like Legos, almost like you can snap together different plays. How important was that flexibility for you when you were kind of thinking up the scheme?
I think it's very important for a development of a young man like himself, that he has to see the big picture, not just, hey, the guy at half the field's open. He sees the coverage, hey, we're painting a picture with this matchup. Now instead of a receiver running it, now maybe a tight end's running it. Maybe a back is running it, maybe someone else, and then he gets to see that matchup and where he places the ball, and that's where right now we're getting to that point where he knows how to throw the ball in every coverage versus those concepts.
How much of this offensive shift was with Josh specifically in mind?
Oh, I think it a lot in mind. You got to have the next level. You got to be able to call plays.
Right.
You have to be able to call plays and change the play, change the direction, change those things, but also be able, in the next level, you got to be able to run the football to help him, because we just can't drop back and just let people run at him. So hopefully we slow him down a little bit. Okay.
When he's changing the plays, is he ever looking over the sideline for a little help, or is it exclusively his call?
It's we compact it, for him, not to get out. This is what you can get to, and then also the other thing that Coach Mora and Coach Marcus Giusopo, we share is that, hey, you got to keep your eye on the clock. We're telling him it takes him many seconds to change a play, and if he doesn't, then you got to live with where your hot is, or live with that play to play another down, instead of trying to get something and then we get a delay or people are not knowing where to go. So he's learning to bring everybody together, and it's fun for us because, in 2 minutes, we haven't had 2 minutes here because we've been no huddle. So now he knows these plays, he likes these plays, and we're just going in. If there's a timeout or a clock stoppage, he'll look to the sideline and we'll give him the play. So it's kind of cool.
What are your thoughts on the running back competition at this point in camp?
Really good. You have 3 vet guys that played, been in the stadiums, been in the huddle, and then these 2 young freshmen, and Brandon Stevens and Jalen Starks have done a nice job. Really good football IQ, all 5. Really hard runners. They're all over 200 pounds, so they're gonna put some physical behind their running ability. So it'll be fun for us. So hopefully that they can give us that edge of gaining yards, positive yards, and then giving us a good situation that we can either play action, throw the ball, or run it again.
Will all 5 of them be seeing time once the season starts?
I would like that, but you never know. I would like that. And are they capable? Yes.
How do you have any idea how you think it will shake out at this point?
I always kind of go by feel and experience, but I'd like to have one.
Okay.
But the others know that they'll play, because I know the ball's not heavy, but it's a lot of responsibility, and you got to have the stamina to carry it.
Has anyone started to separate himself?
No, they're all pretty equal, and then again, it's just they're in the same process of the verbiage, formations and everything, but we're keeping it consistent.